And it is 5 red lights. And it's green light, go, 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 we go racing here, it's our battle, going down into the turn 1, it looks like Haas gets a very good start there, that is his M, going down towards turn 1, it looks like everyone's ghosting between each other here, everyone's ghosting, Casper in between the ghoster, Kicksauber and the Red Bull, going down this main straight as well, it's a very big battle here for P2, and they're all ghosting between each other, it looks like that Red Bull has come out of the ghosting, it's just behind them, you can take a look, and people go side by side, mental moments there, side by side there between the Alpine and the Mercedes, looks like Kimi Kunda gets a very good move and says still ghosted there. Antonio up the inside, he's not ghosted anymore, he's round, he's gone down a couple of positions there, down into P7 he goes, then down the inside of Ransdell I believe he goes as well, now round the outside going into the left-hander after a huge mistake going down the inside, he's been pushed off, he has been pushed off there by the Aston Martin, then down the inside he loads it again, there's a McLaren in the background, he's gone off, that's Sam, he's made a mistake, as round the outside again goes Tonio and he gets the move. He's up into P6, he's not dropped down to P7, as just behind, Red Rob down the inside, he pushes the Williams off wide, here comes Leo Lund, 2 for 1 like a test game meal deal, now down the straight we go again, Suzuki to your big contact there between himself and Rev Rob, and it could have been fatal if it was a little bit more, and again they touch wheels, going down towards the first turn, and down the inside, the Ferrari sends it, Leo Lund goes on quartz RL, absolutely lunging it into the first turn, he's not going to get the position just yet though. Down into turn 1 we go. Here we go. Can Ransdell get the move here on Tonio? Yes, he can. But Tonio still keeping it around the outside. A switchback maneuver. Are we kidding ourselves right here, right now? He's off track, unfortunately. He could complete it now. He's gone wide. He's making a mistake. Through goes Kimi Kunda. Up into P7 he goes. It can be 3 wide going into the left hand. Oh my Christ. Tim Tonimo on the inside goes Leo Lund. He sent it on the pair of them. And he's got the move. Up into P8 he goes, I lost the P8 in 3 laps time, I can't believe it. What a start, he's glitched out to P13, now what's going on? No, what's going on now, man? Down to P13 he is. I can't believe that. I think that was a massive glitch. As Sam overtaking Suzuki Dior. Round the outside he goes into the second sector. Then wheel to wheel. Neck and neck. Going down into the right-hander. The Haskar stays behind the McLaren. As Sam is able to get P12. Down the straight he goes. DRS. ERS. Down into the first turn. Is the Ferrari going to send it? Let's have a look. We'll have a look. Down the inside he goes. Can he get the position? The McLaren brakes very late there, Rev Rob. But Leo Lund looking for a switchback maneuver again, looking for the round the outside maneuver into the left-hander. I can't believe it. He's up into P10, down into the left-hander. He has cleared Rev Rob in a moment's notice. Suzuki Dior now overtakes Sab as he goes down into the left-hander as well. Look at Tonio though, very close behind Tim Tonimo as we go down towards the first turn. Is the Saba going to send it here? No, he breaks very early, back down the inside. Oh no, he's round. Why on earth did Tim Tonimo go for it? He broke too late, he spun around, and unfortunately for him, he's down to P13. Down the straight, and he couldn't even be wondering to yourself, can Reese get the jump here on Pesci himself? Just down this straight, as down into the first turn we're going to go, and yes, side by side, on the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Here comes the other Red Bull, and down the inside he does send it. Reese, can he get the possession here on the Mercedes just ahead of him? He's going to give the room down the inside into the next turn, and now he does get the manoeuvre. Up into P3 he goes, and Pesci has been dusted away, but can he come back another day? Round the outside he will look for it into the left-hander, but he's not clear. Oh no, big contact between the two of them into that turn. It has scruffled the neck of both drivers, and Pesci has been pushed off circuit because of it. Is that a time penalty for Reese after the race? We'll have to see. As here comes Tonio right at the back of Suzuki Dior. Is he going to go for the move right here? Yes, he is! Down the inside he goes into the second sector. Can he get the position around the outside going into this left-hander? He's going to swing it around the outside. He's still going to keep it. Antonio's ahead of the apex. Going into the right-hander. It's a great move from the Sauber. And he's up at a P10. Looking to fight against Sab up next. Quite a little bit there. I think he had to stop himself going into him. And oh no! Suzuki Dior is round into the first turn. And the Haas is down into P13. And Ransdell does get the jump on Kimi Kunda into this left-hander as Cintium retires into the pits. That's one Alpine gone, and the other Alpine has just been overtaken. Here we go into the right-hander here, though. Round the outside, Kimi Kunda. Oh, no, he's off the track. He's in a wall. I can't believe it. Surely he's got wing damage from that. I am so surprised he has not DNF from that massive crash. A big crash, a massive crash. He's now alongside Antonio, and they collide as well. the grass. He might be perched upon it. And he's dropped all the way down to P13. And just from simply battling with Randstall, he's dropped down double the positions he was previously at. And now I think he has just given up from the race. As here we go, then down the inside goes Leo Lund on Pesci into the left-hander, and he gets the position as well, as Tony overtaking down the straight against Sab as well. And Leo Lund, Casper, side by side with Pesci into the right-hander, round the outside of the Mercedes looking to stick it. He's now off the circuit, and the Ferraris have pulled through for P4 and P5, and Pesci has to await behind. It should be, quite frankly, an easy move going into this left-hander. He's not close enough, I don't think, or is he? Up the inside goes, it's 3 wide going into the left-hander. Oh, crikey, and off wide he goes, because Rev Rob sent up the inside as well, and he got the position on the Haas car. He's up at the P13, but he has got a really good exit there going down this straight. He's going to use up some of his ERS. Can he get a position right on this Red Bull just ahead of him? Is he going to go for it? I think he is. Down the inside he goes into the left-hander. He's absolutely sent it. He's pushed him off forward just a little bit, but he's come through for the position. Up into P3 he goes, and he sets his sights on the Red Bull counterpart of Biedzinski. Fantastic. Up into P3 already. As here we go. ERS and DRS. You know what that means. It's side by side down the straight we go with Leo Lund. And he's cleared him in a moment's notice. Up into P2 he goes. He now searches for the lead. Up against a Zem up ahead. How much that's going to go down by? 1.5. As, oh no! A 3-second time penalty for Leo Lund. That is going to damage his race significantly by the end of this Grand Prix. That means not only does he have to overtake Azem, he also has to gap him by 3 seconds to try and get the P1. Pesci is mighty close to this Haskell just up ahead of him. Suzuki Dior, he's going to defend the inside line, as round the outside goes the Mercedes here, up against the Haas. He's going to go for it round the outside, into the mid-corner, now onto the exit, and down into the second turn. He does pull ahead of the Haas car, and Suzuki Dior will stay behind for another lap. Pesci now overtaking his teammate Quartz as we go down into turn 1, as here comes the McLaren of Rev Rob. He goes down the inside into the first turn. It's a very easy move, but around the outside goes Quartz. He's sent down, Rev Rob's round, Rev Rob's round, Rev Rob's in a wall, Rev Rob's lost his front wing, and unfortunately for him, it could be very much the end of his race as we know it. The McLaren has been taken out. Or did he understeer into the Mercedes? ERS and DRS as we tick ourselves on into the 29th lap out of 36. A mere 7 left. But 7 in which Leo Lund will send it down the inside into the first turn. He clips the left, the back left of the Haskell just a little bit, but he's going to get him down the outside. Here comes the Red Bull of Biedzinski. He can't get close enough to look for the move for P1, but he's side by side with Leo Lund going down the straight into the left-hander. Here we go. Side by side goes the Red Bull and the Ferrari. Down the inside he goes into the left-hander. He gets pushed a little bit here. The Red Bull and the Ferrari scruffing it between each other. Then neck and neck down into the right-hander, touching wheels, banging wheels. Down the inside goes the Ferrari, and he's able to keep his P2 for now. Down into the left-hander we're going to shortly go. DRS, ERS for the lead. Here in Sao Paulo, round the outside he goes. He gets the move up into P1, but now the new task. Can he gap the Haas by 3 seconds and take the victory here in Brazil? He will not have DRS down the straight. And will Azem be a sitting duck once again? And will Biedzinski finally get a move he's been begging for to try and overtake this Haskell just up ahead? Here we go, down into the first turn, down the straight we go, side by side between the Red Bull and the Haas, and the Red Bull is ahead of the Haas going into the first turn. A very clean move down the straight, and the Red Bull simply puts himself up into P2. He stays behind again. Leo Lund, he's made a mistake. It's 7/10 of a second, and Antonio is round into the left-hander, but more importantly, the gap for the lead is now 8/10 of a second. Leo Lund had made a mistake going into a left-hander or right-hander, whatever it is, and now Biedzinski has got the win right underneath his nose. The twists and turns that have come across the way in this race. It seems that the finalisation of a 36 marathon here in Sao Paulo is going to dictate and lead to a Red Bull win. And more importantly, not only just a Red Bull win, but a Biedzinski win. Across the line, the Red Bull goes, and Biedzinski will win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. He takes 25 points for Red Bull and he claims a win here at XRS. A fantastic race, and just a little mistake near the end has cost Leo Lund severely, but has given Biedzinski a joy that no other can experience tonight. 25 points, he'll take it. Thank you very much.